Prepare yourselves for an entertaining and somewhat informative hour of MMA Talk Radio, brought to you by The Joe Show. And today we have a special guest. Are you still there? There you are. Who are you?
Hi, my name is Time Dunking. I'm with WKO and Blunt Force Trauma.
Say that one more time.
Buds and Brawls. It's
Buds and Brawls.
Halloween. Yeah.
So Buds and Brawls on Halloween. Blunt Force Trauma is the name of the show. And how did you guys come up with that name? Technical difficulties. So Time is up in Oklahoma, and they got some ice storms up there. So I think they're having some internet problems. So anyways, you can go online or on Facebook and check out Blunt Force Trauma. Our good buddy, friend of the show, Jason Klein, will be fighting on that event. So he's making his way up to Oklahoma City today or tomorrow. I'm not sure if he's got to make weigh-ins or not. Here she comes. Here she comes. Hey, did you guys watch the UFC this weekend? Jared Cannonier had that good scrap with the former champ. Also, I think we're losing everybody on here. Technical difficulties. So I was really shocked by Justin Gaethje versus Khabib. Khabib on Gaethje was talking a lot of smack before that fight, what he was going to do to Khabib, but he did nothing. Khabib completely mauled him, choked him out, and sent him packing back here to the States. And then at the end of the fight, Khabib decides to retire on his 29th fight. I was a little shocked that Khabib, at the prime of his career, at the top of the top, who has defeated every badass in that weight class, decides to hang up the gloves and not compete anymore. So that was a little surprising, and I really don't think he's done. I'm pretty sure if Dana White offered him some kind of super fight for some big money, or maybe possibly another Conor McGregor matchup for some big money, that Khabib will be back in the cage soon. And Whitaker versus Cannonier, I was a little surprised by that. Whitaker looked like the champ going into that fight. Cannonier didn't have any answers for any of the strikes, the kicks, and I believe Whitaker damaged Jared Cannonier's arm in the opening round, and definitely just gave him a pretty good beating that whole fight. But if you're in Oklahoma this weekend, Oklahoma City, go check out that fight. It's going to be Muay Thai, kickboxing. Is she coming back on? Man, when it rains, it pours. There she is. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There she is. Well, we got some dead air.
Okay.
There you are.
I can hear you just fine right now.
All right, real quick, give me the lowdown of this whole show. What you got going out there in Oklahoma? Where is it at, and what time does it start?
This is Buds and Brawls. It's at the Farmers Market on Klein and Exchange, Oklahoma City. Our prelims start at 5:30. 24 action-packed amateur Muay Thai kickboxing fights.
24 fights?
24 fights. We're going to be there all night.
So 24 plus 24 times 2, that's 48 fighters. How did you wrangle 48 amateur Muay Thai fighters? Because I know it's like herding kittens or herding puppies, man. They're hard to get to show up to those fights sometimes.
Kittens. That's a good analogy for it. I have a great partner, Dave Cummings, and we have a great relationship. We work together really well. And as far as kickboxing, I mean, he's the man to know.
Yeah, I talked to Dave briefly today, and he was super pumped about this event. Yeah. And man, what a nice guy. And he comes from a fighting background, which is even cooler. And it's just not some guy, some investor just throwing on some fights, trying to make some quick money. This guy has been there. He's taken his licks in the ring, and he's given his, thrown his shots. So it's pretty cool when an ex fighter stays involved in the business and puts on such a cool promotion like this.
Well, and not just a fighter. He had 13 world titles.
Holy smoke. So look up Dave Cummings.
Yeah, he's great. So we've both been putting on fights for a long time. He created this concept, this blunt force trauma. This is going to be like a networking event. It's in Oklahoma, the cannabis industry is booming right now. I mean, it's so new and it's just coming off the ground. So this is going to be the who's who in the marketing industry for cannabis. I mean, this is going to be great. So we're trying to merge kickboxing and cannabis together in perfect unity. I'm so excited about this card.
Yeah, cannabis is very popular in the martial arts world. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and even in the UFC, they're allowed a certain percentage of THC in their blood before their fights.
Well,
not too much. It
And
should be.
We should allow these fighters to use this as a secondary form of pain medicine. These people that have chronic injuries,
Yep.
they should be using that instead of narcotics.
Oh yeah, you don't want these guys hooked on pills.
Right.
And on top of that, a lot of these fighters are a little crazy already. So you need to keep them nice and mellow with a good indica or good sativa. Keep them mellow from beating you up on the streets every time you.
I use
flip
it
them off.
myself. I have a card, and but the doctor went me on Xanax and sleeping pills. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't take pills. I smoke a little weed. I go to sleep. I have a job, raise kids, put on promotions.
It's definitely the safer choice. And I actually I have an athletic son that I give him CBD after his football games. It's non-THC CBD, but it does help him with his inflammation, and he sleeps good, and gets some of the the pain out of his joints. And
right.
It's getting real popular. Man, I'm super bummed. I was supposed to go to that fight tomorrow night, and no, I can't make it. I got hurt last night in sparring, so I can barely walk today. So bummed. I already had my hotel booked at that real fancy Hilton downtown, the historical looking building, and I'm not going to be able to make it. I told Mr. Cummings that earlier, but yeah, I've been limping all day. It's awful, so I can't go out there and do a good show and drive 3 hours. I'm pretty bummed out because on top of that, you still there? Check it. 1, 2. Technical difficulties. Can you hear me? Commercial break. There you go. Are you back? I can hear you.
We got action.
There you are.
Well,
okay.
That is, it comes and goes.
Yeah, go outside and stand on the rooftop. All right, Mark. We may have lost our guest. Yeah, it looks like we lost our guest. Well, if you're in Oklahoma City tomorrow night, go out there and check out that fight. 18 and up, please, because there will be marijuana. And it is legal in Oklahoma City if you have your medical marijuana card. So check out Dave Cummings, look up his fight record, and definitely go out and check out that fight if you're in Oklahoma. Good luck to our good buddy and friend of show, Jason Klein. And if if you go to XKO or any of these local fights, you can always see Jason out there. And he's always a badass and kind of a handsome Tom Selleck looking fella, big buff guy. He's going to punch me for saying that, but good luck to you guys tomorrow night, and we'll see you next week.